Hello, everyone. Sorry for that noise. I'm trying to go live on TikTok. I don't know if much persons will be over here, but I know once I go live on TikTok, that's where I know I see a lot of persons. Good morning, or good afternoon, or good night to anyone who is here right now. And when you see this video and any part of the world that you're in right now, if you're in international nursing, you're a healthcare worker, non-healthcare worker, interested to work anywhere across the world, this is the channel for you. So give me some minutes as I get my other device set up for TikTok. Welcome, anyone that is here. Type in the chat and let me know who is here. Let me get that chat button up. Let me know which country you guys are streaming from. Anywhere in the chat, let me know. I want to talk about immigration, and that's my title, US Green Card Immigration, and we saw the pause that took place and what's next for same. So I have an article that I am going to go into, and then we can discuss same. Actually wanted to go live on my other device, but I am needing charge for same. All right, so this live that we're going to do, I may have to abort mission for same. We're going to be looking at the U.S. new immigrant visas for several countries. So 75 countries were affected with regards to the initiative that the U.S. government has put place. A lot of persons saw this, and I'm the type of person that waits until the dust settles, and then I am ready to talk about same. I know many of my nurses, healthcare workers, skilled workers these are something that they are looking into right now. So it says here that the U.S. State Department announced on Wednesday that it will pause in immigrant visas to 75 countries over concerns that they are relying on public assistance in the future. So this freeze, I think, began on the 21st, and this article was taken from Monica Petrelli, and we have to give our commendations to her for the article. No plagiarism around here. So the freeze is set to begin on January 21 and does not affect tourist visa. It will remain in effect until the U.S. can ensure that new immigrants will not extract wealth from the American people. And there was a list of 75 countries that were published. So they noted that the policy does not affect current immigration visas. However, the U.S. government has previously signaled reviewing immigration visas that were granted under the previous administration. And I want you to understand, it says it doesn't affect the non-immigrant visas, and that will include your B1 and your B2 visas, and those that are under the F1 visa. Just a disclaimer here, guys, I'm not an immigration consultant. So if you need the legal advice, you know that you go speak with an immigration consultant or lawyer. Hopefully we can venture into that profession in the near future. What you guys think? I think it may fit me. So there were 75 countries that were affected, and I know my reach over here is quite large. We have persons all over the world, and that's the impact of YouTube, and that's the impact of social media. So the countries that were affected, we saw for the Americas, and the Americas included Latin America and the Caribbean. So we saw, I'm going to go through this list right here. You can see this: Antigua and Barbuda, Bahamas, Barbados, Belize, Colombia, Cuba, Dominica, Grenada, Guatemala, Haiti, Jamaica, Nicaragua, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and Uruguay. These are all the countries that were affected in the Americas. And if you see your country here, or better if you're here and you're watching and you are whichever country you're streaming from, you can let me know in the comment section. So in Europe, we saw countries affected included Albania, Belarus, Bosnia, and Herzegovina, Kosovo, Moldova, Montenegro, North Macedonia, and we saw some Asia Pacific countries like Jordan, Cambodia, Bhutan affected. I think there was another group of countries that were affected too. So we have the African countries that were also affected: Algeria, Cameroon, Cape Verde, Egypt, Ethiopia, Ghana, Liberia, Libya, Nigeria, Rwanda, Senegal, and Somalia, and South Sudan, and I think Tanzania was also affected with regards to same. So for this came as quite interesting news for many persons, especially those that are healthcare professionals and looking to work in various countries. And of note, it did note that it does not affect your non-immigrant visa. So by reading this and the information that we saw, it literally meant that if you are outside of the country, you're in a process to obtain what we call the EB3, which is the green card, you'll be put on indefinite pause. However, for those from my readings and understanding and various sessions and conference meetings, if you are already in the US and you're on a green card, this process won't be affected. And the government has cited their concerns with same and why they're doing same. Now, this will affect a lot of persons, and of note, it won't affect those who are on your non-immigrant visas. And while a lot of persons will see the information, everybody starts running, and the fear mongering and the anxiety starts to come in. But read your information from credible sources and make sure you have a good understanding. As said before, your non-immigrant visas include that of your B2, B1, and also those that are on F1, such as your students. Those are the type of visas that won't be affected. However, as we said before, if you're in the process for a green card, that will be affected and placed on indefinite pause. I did hear in the grapevine that some persons had some appointments with the embassy and they same got rescheduled based on everything that was taking place. However, what's next for same? As I stated before, this may affect many of your healthcare professionals who get opportunities such as your nurses, physicians, and any other probably family-based will get opportunities to go overseas, and your employer will sponsor you. So this affects them. So if you're in that process already, it may cause a pause. But with regards to that, I want people to understand that if you have started the process already and you're working with an agency or a company, go to them for your information. If you're working with a recruiter, send an email to your recruiter to say, hey, I saw this information in the news. What's next for me and how best should I proceed? We hear a lot of stories on the ground that this would be no more, all of that, but go to whoever is sponsoring you or is in charge of you, and that's where your information should be received from. Now, if you have reached out to your necessary agencies, your recruiter, whether they give you a red light or a green light, that's how you should respond, and they will work with you to determine your next step forward. The reason why I'm stressing this, guys, many of your companies, recruiting companies or agencies, many of them work with their lawyers. They have a department for immigration and law, so they will give you adequate legal advice and the best steps to move forward. So I see some persons tuning in. Drop in the chat section if you have any concerns, any questions with regards to same. So speak to whoever your employer who is responsible for you and wait for communications from them to determine your next steps forward. I can safely say that I've heard about it, but many follow the news online, guys. Follow your agencies when they're having webinars online and look at the information sessions that they are having, and they'll give you the next steps and opportunities to move forward. And if you realize that, hey, it's a regular day, a normal day for them, no changes, all right? And if you get the green light, proceed. Red light, you know, they'll assist you with same. So all is not lost, guys. And I believe as healthcare professionals and anywhere that you are in the world, if you're doing a process of same, your opportunities are endless. Once you take the NCLEX as an RN, I'm going to bring it back to the nurses. That's my area. That's persons who I work with. You have opportunities all over. So it may be a concern for a lot of persons, yes, but at the end of the day, please remember that whoever is working with you, that's who you get your information from. Don't be out there just reading everything and just running around and getting anxious, the anxieties, fear mongering, all of that. And I know this is going to happen. Why? Because we're already experiencing visa retrogression. Visa retrogression, then coupled with this, a lot of persons are going to be concerned. So it's okay to have those emotions and feelings. It is okay. I know it's going to be hard to hear such a news like that and then coupled with the visa retrogression. But as I said before, pay attention to the news. Keep your emails with you, my dear. Read those emails, have your phone clutched to your side at all times, because you never know when a gate will be open and say, hey, you need to report for your embassy appointment. So I appreciate the information that many of the employers have put out. Some of them have also done webinars and conferences and informed the nurses, and we have spoken with each other persons on the ground. And I think, don't want to say too much, guys, but we are okay. I think we are okay. But for those who are watching me right now, I'm here. If you're anywhere in the world right now, I need to see, type in the chat where you're tuning in from. I actually wanted to go live on TikTok, but my phone battery would not allow me. Let me know in the chat where you're tuning in from, guys, and how are you, and how do you feel moving forward with this and the news that you're hearing on the ground. Stay abreast and just pay attention. And your time will come. I'm speaking with a lot of nurses and they are concerned, especially those that are back home, whichever country you are, and you're waiting. I know I've been there before and it is a work in progress and it can be hard. But I'm going to say to you guys some tips and advice to you. If you're waiting, don't put your life on hold. Make sure you continually increase in your clinical skills. Look at the skills that you think you'll need when you transition and that you need to work on. I've given this advice to nurses that I spoke recently on TikTok with, and I said to them, if you're not sharp on your IV skills, go and take an IV skills course. Those courses are available either through your institution as hospitals. Some of them may have in-service departments for same. You can even go to universities or community colleges that offer these and work on those. I've seen that can be a downfall for some of us, but depending on your learning style and how quick you learn. Remember, if you're being employed through a company to go anywhere in the world and work, you're being employed to help and come in offsetting shortages. So your orientation may be long or short because they're expecting you to function. So come prepared to function. So those are the stuff that you can work on. If you're interested to go back to school, I support it 100%. I don't care what era, even if it's an era different from nursing, do it. Education can't be too much and it won't be a detriment to you. At the end of the day, that's another skill, that's another qualification that you can also add to your resume. Other things that you can do, follow online persons who have walked the path as you and are in the field and can give you adequate information if you need support or advice or opportunities just to expand your reach a bit. I'm here and there are other persons that I can connect you with. I do see some pitfalls. A lot of you have been reaching out to me, asking me for other job opportunities. I do hear back home where I'm from in the Caribbean that we have an impact now with relates to job opportunities. What I have done, I'm using my network and I'm using my reach. I have created a newsletter. I think I'm going to drop it in the description when I'm finished with this. I have created a newsletter, and last month I sent out a newsletter with some opportunities that are also within the Caribbean. I'm going to be doing it for global too. So I'm going to drop it here. That's also on my TikTok page in my bio. And a lot of persons did sign up, and I'm getting ready to drop some more opportunities that I have in my network. It doesn't matter if you're a nurse. It doesn't matter if you're not healthcare. I have a network that I'm going to utilize and try to bring the jobs to you. This newsletter is free of cost. Reason why I'm doing this, a lot of persons keep reaching out to me and I keep repeating myself over and over and over. So I said, let me just condense this information into one thing. So if you're interested in same, I'm going to drop the link in my description and you will sign up and you'll receive a welcome email. And then I will be dropping monthly opportunities for individuals. I will be dropping a next one. Let me see. I do see an opportunity. And once I see them, I said, I'll do this once a month. But if I do realize that the deadline is fast approaching, I will drop that newsletter as early as possible. Come next week, I do see some opportunities that will be having a recruitment in another country for international workers. The persons who are listed in my newsletter will be the persons who will get that opportunity first. Then I'll come on YouTube and I'll do the video presentation with regards to same. So if you're watching this and you're interested, for opportunities globally, you can sign up for the newsletter in my description. Now, for the opportunities that I have coming up next, you will see that I'm going to be transitioning from doing the videos recorded. I do not have the time. I'm sorry, just not have the time. I do not have the time to edit anymore, guys. So I'm going to be moving to live sessions like this where I can just come, pop on, do a live, hop on, sorry, not pop, hop on, do a live, and then that's it. All right. So the next presentation that I have coming up, I'll be showing you to apply for another opportunity that is coming up that will be, I think that's going to be a session, and the other one is another opportunity for those that are in not only healthcare. That's another opportunity or a stream that I'm going to tell you guys about. So opportunities are endless. The world is your oyster. The world is your stage, and they are all there. But I don't think that we're looking at the right places. And if I can use my network, my experience, and my reach to help people, I am going to do that. So we talked about the newsletter and all of that, and I'm going to put that in my description. Any questions or concerns? Who do we have here on the chat? Let me know. I'm hardly seeing. Let me know where you guys are tuning in from and any questions that you guys have or concerns. For those persons, though, who were listed on the list, you have to pay attention to the list which the US government has listed, right? Because you have to look at your country and the restrictions that they will place on your country. And you have to pay attention because I think some persons had partial or full restrictions, and that will affect you in terms of moving forward too. So you have to pay attention to your country and understand that what the restrictions mean for you. And you'll hear this, and the agencies or the different companies that you work with will send this information out. You'll also need to equip yourself with this information too, so you know how it affects you moving forward and the different countries that you can apply to. All right. Anybody that will be watching this later, good night or good evening or good afternoon, and drop your country where you're tuning in from. Please remember that I will be creating the newsletter, and you guys can sign up for same, where I'll be dropping the opportunities, and we do have some more stuff that I'm working on that will be coming forward. All right, let me just hop on to TikTok a bit, but it's gonna jump off. So let's see. Welcome to everyone that is here. We talked earlier on YouTube, and I'm still on YouTube. We talked about the immigration and the nurses. We saw the changes that took place recently with regards to nurses matriculating to various countries, including that of the US and the 75 countries that were banned. We gave a listing of the countries that were affected and the updates, especially if you're nurses outside of the country, how this will affect you and moving forward. If you're already signed with a company as reputed, signed with a company or an agency, it is best to look to your agency for support and advice. Reach out to your recruiters, reach out to the agency, send a message to them to say, hey, I'm seeing this on the news. How best can I move forward, and how does this affect me? Those are the persons that you need to pay attention to in terms of seeing the different changes that are taking place with immigration. Also, on top of that, stay abreast with the news, pay attention to SIM, and to see how this restriction will affect you in the near future. At the end of the day, nurses can keep themselves abreast by looking at the different countries that you can work in. Countries that you can work in, and look at the different exams that you can take to work in those countries. So countries such as the US, Canada, and Australia, they utilize the NCLEX, and that's the same thing all over. So if you're pass the NCLEX in the USA, you can also work in Canada. You can also work in Australia. For countries such as the UK, I think they use the CBT and AHSCE. I think the AHSCE exam. I don't remember what that word pronounced. And I think other countries, they may just require you just, I think for Ireland or Germany, you may just, I think the same thing, or you may need that of the IELTS exam. So those are some regulations and standards that you guys can pay attention to. How can I make myself more marketable with SAME? How can I get these certifications and these qualifications? Once you're marketable, guys, I always tell people that nursing is a launch pad. You can launch to any country, anywhere, and guess what? If you will launch to a country and you've been there, you have experienced it, and you see another country and you're interested into going to that country, you can also just uproot yourself and move to another country. I've actually met a nurse who worked in China, she worked in the UK, she worked in Canada, and she worked in the US, and that was extremely good. When I saw her, I said, "This lady, you're out of this world. Do you know how many experience that she has that she can actually use to her advantage?" She basically worked in most of the first world countries. So I told her the only place that was left for her to work was the Caribbean. So let's see if she'll take up the offer. All right, guys. So welcome to those that are joining us. I see a couple people here on TikTok, and we're talking about immigration for nurses. This is something that we have to pay attention to. Very important. It does affect you in terms of mobility and how quickly your process will move or not. We already know that visa retrogression is already taking place right now. A lot of countries, they're experiencing backlogs at the moment. Some persons are waiting for 2-3 years, and that normally happens each year. Before you jump to make decisions while you're waiting, make sure you speak to somebody that understands the process and also can affect you. The next thing, guys, I want to inform persons that are here. I'm going to repeat myself once more again that I have created a newsletter to help you guys in terms of job opportunities. So if you're looking for opportunities globally, across the world, especially also within the Caribbean, also many of you guys who follow me may see that I've done some stuff talking about the Caribbean. I've created a newsletter, and that newsletter will be creating all the opportunities in my network that I see to help you guys get that access. So if you're interested for jobs, you can sign up to SAME. I have sent out the first one in January. I'm working on the one for February right now. I do see some opportunities coming up for another recruitment drive and for a stream that we're going to talk about. The persons who are signed up to the newsletter will get those information first, and then I will publish those on my YouTube and see how I can repurpose SAME on TikTok and Instagram. So if you're interested for SAME, you can follow me on my social, and it is in my bio, so you can join SAME for job opportunities. For those tuning in right now, let me know which country that you're tuning in from. For those on YouTube, I'm also on TikTok. So we talked about immigration for nurses. We talked about the 75 countries that were banned in terms of the EB3 processing. You know, that's countries in the Americas, Europe, and Africa were placed on a ban, but this does not affect that of the non-immigrant visas. And by no, guys, I am not an immigration consultant. I am not a lawyer. Let's see if I can go into that job in the near future. But if you need information on those and advice for those for that area, please speak with a consultant or a lawyer. So Nat is asking opportunities overseas or local. Which country are you asking from, Nat? Are we providing opportunities local in the Caribbean and also outside? Let me know which country you're from, Nat. Oh, Jamaica. Yes, I did send one in the newsletter for Jamaica. I'll be looking to see how I can use my network for Jamaica and also for the other Caribbean countries. So both local and global. So that's what I'll be doing. I have said before on the newsletter, I'm getting ready to launch another one for February because I see another 2 opportunities that will be good. Those that are in the newsletter will get access to that first. And the newsletter is free, guys. The reason why I'm doing this is because a lot of persons keep asking me the same information over and over, so I'm condensing it into one thing. Once you're signed up with anything that I publish, you'll get it in your email. So I'll be looking for opportunities in Jamaica, Caribbean, and also globally. So if you want that opportunity, you can sign up for the newsletter with regards to same. Any other questions? I'm trying to look at Jamaica. I'm not seeing much, but I'll be expanding my reach to my new nurses. Please be open to work in other places before you get that opportunity to work in another nursing job. There are so many areas that you can actually launch into that may be non-nursing related. I know many of us want to get that clinical experience, so you can use it to launch yourself for the world. But if you're not getting same right now, take advantage of some non-clinical ones until you can push back yourself or dip your foot back into the clinical settings. All right. And you don't have to be a nurse, guys. You can be non-healthcare. I'll be expanding the reach because I do have persons who are reaching out to me for opportunities. So this is just my way of somebody sent me a gift. I don't even know how TikTok works, Thank you. This is just my way of using my network to help you guys with opportunities, especially some of the new grads that are back home and some persons that are asking me for opportunities that are nurses. All right. Any other questions, guys? You can let me know. We talked about the 75 countries. Is it just for RNs? No, it's not just for RNs. Good question. I like that question. It's not just for RNs. It's also for any healthcare area. Healthcare and non-healthcare. I think I showed, as you saw on TikTok where I shared this flyer for a virtual Caribbean fair, Latin America and the Caribbean, that is taking place in February, where they're having a career drive for persons who are in software engineering, AI, logistics, and chain supply. So those are some areas too that I'll be sharing. So it's not just for nurses. The previous newsletter that I dropped, I did share some stuff in there for nurse aides, practical nurses too. So it does not have to be RNs only. Quite a number of people are here that are in my reach over here that are not just practical nurses, are not RNs. There are other different areas, right? So Nat said, because I'm a practical nurse, but in studies for special needs education assistance, no problems. Practical care nurse. What I'll do when you guys reach out to me, if I'm not, what you do, you see, when you guys reach out to me, if you send me an email, say for instance, I'm a teacher, I need some opportunities, you allow me to go to other places and say, how can I expand the reach and find teaching positions for you? So that is what I will do. So it doesn't matter. All right. Any further questions? So we were talking about immigration for nurses. We talked about the 75 countries that were affected. What I have reiterated a lot, if you're already with a company, how do you sign up? Good question. Go into my bio on TikTok right here and look for the subscription. You'll see the first thing that you see is the newsletter. You sign up right there with your email address, and then an email will be sent to you. That's how you sign up. So we talked about the 75 countries and the ban. If you're already signed up with a recruitment agency or a company, you speak to them in terms of immigration to know your update and your status, guys. And if you don't listen to the webinars that your company is having, pay attention to that. And if they give you the green light, that's it. Or they say red light, that's how you move and process scene. A lot of people are on here with a lot of information and you can get anxiety and a lot of fear mongering, but pay attention to what your company, who you're working with, and the information that gives you. Anything for PCA? Yes, I talked about the practical care nurses. You can sign up for same. There's some opportunities in some other countries that you can sign up for same, guys. I may probably need to do some videos to indicate to you once you apply how you can start your process in trying to work there, because you have to do registration and all of that for these other countries, guys. I do have some videos that I need to make for you guys who are practical care nurses too. So I have some videos coming up for same. So you can sign up for the newsletter in my bio. Yes, a lot of you have been in my DMs for the PCAs. So I've been working on making some videos for same. So the newsletter is in my bio. For those on YouTube, I'll be putting that in the description. I said I have another information or some opportunities to come, that those persons in the newsletter will get first preference to that. And then I'll be making some videos on YouTube. So you can also follow me on YouTube. I'll be making some videos in terms of another opportunity that I see. Any other questions? For my practical care nurses, I know the opportunities are not a lot. I have heard the cries, and I did try in terms of the opportunities that we can give to you guys. But the RNs are the one in supply right now. There are opportunities there, but that will be a little more local. There probably be some for international wise, but it goes back to your licensing and registration. And that's why I said I have to make some videos to educate you guys on SAME. So follow me on all social, guys, and I'll give you some up-to-date information with SAME. I'm going to see how best I can provide the education and information that you guys need, because you have a lot of misinformation that is out there right now. So let's see how best we can move forward with SAME. So Nat says, okay, that would be amazing. No problems. So as I said before, right now you see a lot on the information, the opportunities will be for RNs. And I did speak with a practical a nurse this morning who reached out to me, said she was interested to go back to school, and she wanted to know if she should become a practical care nurse. Or honey, try to aim for the highest. Nothing wrong with it, but try to aim for the highest, because that's where the supply is right now. That's where the supply and demand is right now. And if you're a practical care nurse already, I encourage all of you guys to go back to school. Go back to school. Do not tell me it's expensive. It's expensive everywhere. Food is expensive. Everything is expensive. And I know the university is expensive. You can go to like the community colleges that offer cheaper programs. You can do it. You're working in healthcare for how many years now? You see the system and understand it. Advance yourself and go back. Student loan is now, they have guarantors for student loan. No, I don't. And that has been one of the hardest things for a lot of persons who went back to school. So you have the opportunity to get funding and loans. Make use of it. If you're already working at a hospital, the hospital can also send you back to school. If you apply and they tell you no, you simply go and look your funding yourself and do it on your own. All right. Any further questions, guys? I'm going to be wrapping up in the next 5 minutes. So we talked about the immigration newsletters that we'll be posting. Stay abreast with SAME. Next week, you'll see those information coming up. And once you sign up with SAME, a welcome email will be sent. Those who are just signing up, the deadline maybe have passed for the opportunities that I have sent out for January. So once I put them out, I watch this fast approaching, I will send them out to you guys so you can apply quickly. All right, so please remember me to follow me on all the socials. I'm also on YouTube. I'm also on TikTok. I'll be going live. Let's see what date next week I'll be going live with the other opportunity that I have coming up. I'll be doing that one live so you guys can talk, interface, and ask the questions. All right. Let me check YouTube if YouTube have any questions. No questions from YouTube. All right, guys, I think I'm going to end the live right here. So I'll see you guys. May come back on Saturday night. Let's see. I'll see you guys in another video. Have a good day. Sadio, no, I don't do H2B. I get quite a number of that. I don't do H2B. And I'm not sure which profession you're in. If you're in a profession right now, if it's for, I always mix up the H2B and the H1B, you know. I don't know if agencies there are taking persons right now. Sadie, which profession are you in? Oh, hotel, or you're in the hotel profession. I don't have much linkages with SAME right now. So let's see. I'll keep abreast and keep you posted on SAME. anything for Cayman. I'm just joining a caregiver. I did publish some in the newsletter. I did publish some in the newsletter. So let's see. I think those days are probably past. Let's see if they do an extension. As I said before, sign up for the newsletter in my bio where I'll be publishing the job opportunities. Just click the link in my bio and click your email, put in your email, and that newsletter is going to send you all the opportunities that I saw. Next week with another opportunity that I have seen. And Marshall, you said she did all of that. Did you get an email? I'll be posting some opportunities that I've seen. I'll be over here on live on YouTube, but I'll be posting it to the newsletter. So those persons who sign up will get that first preference first. All right, go check your email again. And I think you have to come once you send an email and then you have to respond to an email just to confirm. So just go check again. So I did answer Sally and say I don't do HBN for hotel work. So I'll get back to you on that if I see any opportunities for same. All right, guys. So I'll see you in another video. It was great talking and chatting with you guys. All the best for the day. Take care. Bye.